resources we created, right? Like we created under the resource group. In fact, resource group also one of the resource. Okay. Then we created these all four resources we created. Now, in this one, today we are going to focus on ADF resource we are going to focus on. Okay, I think you got chance to walk through my material. If not, today you try to walk through it, more information. Once you create the resource, click on that resource, then you'll get here Azure Data Factory Studio. You can click on here Launch Studio. There are many options are available here like Quick Start, Tutorials, Template Gallery, Training Modules. These things, whenever you get some time, I request you people to walk through it. For example, Quick Start will give you some kind of information how to start our Azure Data Factory learning. Okay, they also provide some videos here. What is Azure Data Factory? Those all information you can able to see in the words of Microsoft resources, right? So Microsoft is directly providing these videos and all to you. Okay. Now, second, you can also observe here tutorials. These tutorials are beautiful tutorials. Always everyone need to follow. If you are learning the cloud means always respect to cloud material only we need to follow. Because cloud is very dynamic in nature. Every day something will be changing. So other faculty materials are not good. Always have to follow cloud materials only how to follow. Okay, Azure Data Factory tutorials. Under this one, you can see n number of tutorials are available. How to copy the data, copy activity. These all things are part of our course. We are going to deal with these all things. We are going to deal it. But throughout our throughout our job or learning curve, always you have to make this is a bookmark and keep it because this page is very important page. Third one, you can see the template gallery. The template gallery is nothing but suppose you want to move the data from blob to somewhere else. Already they may have the template. With a single click, you're going to get whatever code you required, you're going to get it. That kind of templates already they developed it. Okay, let's say if you go for a year, then we'll see many templates we're going to see it. It's opening still. Okay, that is about the template gallery. You can notice data factory and every instance is opened. Under data factory or instance, now you can see the template gallery. For example, your simple understanding purpose, I will show you something. Okay, see this one. Your goal is to copy data from Google BigQuery to Azure Data Lake Store. Then you can use this template. This template will be doing the end-to-end guiding for you. If you want to copy data from Netezza to Azure Data Lake Storage, okay. If you want to copy data from Oracle to Azure Synapse, if you want to copy data from AWS S3 to Azure Data Lake Storage. So you name it, most of the templates are available here. If you click on it, then it's going to do the rest of the work for you. Okay. For example, you see this one, delete files older than 30 days. This is one of the best example. Delete files older than 30 days. That's what our requirement in one folder. Every day you have to monitor. If the age of the file is more than 30 days, I want to delete it. For this, if you want to develop from scratch means you need to think about logic, everything you have to think about it. Then if you use this one, then automatically system will take care of it. Okay, right. So there are some templates are available. We are going to talk about these templates also while we are doing that one. Few templates are going to use it. Now, fourth one we have here that is called as training modules. So there are bunch of training modules also available. which are some of them are free of cost. You can select here Azure Data Factory. Once you select Azure Data Factory, you can see 12 results. We got it. There you can see run Azure Data Bricks notebooks with Azure Data Factory. That means you are developing the Databricks notebook you are developing, but that we are calling and we are running using what? Azure Data Factory. So there are n number of things are available. For example, simple one to start is Introduction to Azure Data Factory. You can start this one. This is simple to start your course. Okay, so these are the 4 icons we have here: Quick Start, Tutorials, Template Gallery, Training Modules. Now, above this one, we have the Launch Studio. Let us go and try to launch it and we start our journey. If you click on the Launch Studio, then we're getting actual your ADF environment we're getting. Actual your ADF environment we're getting. Now, you can notice, the ADF window once it is open. This is how ADF window will be looks like. You see some I here. I stands for information. Clearly, it's saying as Azure Data Factory allows you to configure a Git repository with either Azure DevOps or GitHub. Git is a version controlling tool, version control system that allows for easier change tracking and collaboration. As of now, I'm not interested about this one, but we are going to implement this one down the line. We are going to implement it. Even we are serving the material, all our materials are serving using what portal? We are serving all our material using what portal? GitHub
GitHub.
portal only. Yeah, GitHub portal only. So we know that technology. We are going to do that one down the line. At this point of time, we don't want it. So close this information, whatever available, close this. Right. Now, left side, we see the menu bar. You can expand and you can collapse using this button. You can expand and you can collapse. Okay. For better visibility, I'm dragging this one and I'm making this a separate window. Let me make this a separate window. And also make this as a full screen. I made this as a full screen now. Now this is how it looks like. You can notice left side we have this is called as menu bar. In this menu bar we have the home. In the home we'll see some starting points, like if you want to copy data, then you can go ahead and you can use directly this one. Okay. Next, orchestrate, nothing but code free data pipeline. If you want to create some pipeline directly, you can go and you can create it. Transform data, configure SSIS. We'll try to understand each button shortly. Now, left side menu, we are seeing as total 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things we are seeing it. Out of this five, these two things are nothing much, right? Home is nothing but this is a screen what you're seeing. Learning center is nothing but some materials. So main things are available here. 3 things are available main. One is called as author. Second is called as monitor. Third is called as manage. Author, monitor, manage. By observing this one, author is nothing but where the developer is going to spend more time. As a developer, you are going to spend more time in this author because you're going to do development work, you're going to do more over there. And you can see monitor, suppose you completed your development, everything you completed. You completed your development, everything you completed. You want to make sure things are running or not, you need to make sure. So this is nothing but monitor pipelines. We have the concept of pipelines only we are going to run it. Pipelines we are going to monitor using this page. Then third one we have here that is called as manage. If your role is admin, you are going to manage so many things you're going to manage. This manage button is mainly for the admin. However, there are so many projects are there which cannot give two billings. One is for developers, one is for admin separately. At that moment, you also need to take care of admin work also. But it is very easy task here. Admin work also very easy task. Our course includes developer role as well as admin role, both it includes. Now, let's go and try to focus and understand one by one. Let's start first with the admin role. Let's start with first with the admin role. That means we need to start with the manage. We have to start it. So I'm trying to click on here manage. Once you click on the manage, then you can notice we have the general page, then connections, then source control, then author, then security. These are the sections what you're seeing it. Recently, they also introduced workflow orchestration manager Apache Airflow. Still people not adapted fully. Apache Airflow is a totally open source. It's a Python based tool, totally Python based tool, 100% Python based tool. If you think like whatever ADF has that is not enough for you, then you can think about integrating Apache Airflow. Okay, so these are the different sections what we have here. First, I would like to go with the connections I want to go. First, I would like to go with the connections. In that connections, I would like to talk with the integration runtime. First thing, I want to talk about the integration runtime. Before starting integration runtime, I would like to ask you some questions. Did you completed the activity whatever I given last class? Suppose this is a ADF we completed, Azure Data Factory we completed. Okay, and even before the Azure Data Factory, fundamentals AZ900 exam purpose, I given one tutorial. Did you completed the tutorial? AZ900. AZ900, I asked you to complete it, right? Did you complete it? Here I given the AZ900 Microsoft Azure fundamentals. Did you complete it? If not completed, please complete it. Okay, so that you come to understand the cloud basics, you come to understand. And also, wherever it is required, I used to provide the corresponding learning paths. For example, ADF instance, last class we created. I'm not sure you got chance to walk through one by one point or not. Go through it. And also, I might be provided here some learning path, intro to Azure Data Factory. You must complete this one. You must complete this. Once you completed, then only you'll be in a position to answer below questions. What is ADF? Which one is true about ADF? Key components of Azure Data Factory. ADF can handle which kind of data? Some questions I given, right? You'll be able to answer these questions effectively once you complete this activity. Okay, anyone not completed, I request you people to walk through it. Then after completion of that one, then walk through these questions. You'll be able to answer it your own. Now, coming back to our integration runtime, this is what the integration runtime. Simply, people will be calling as a IR. IR stands for integration runtime. So the integration runtime is the compute infrastructure used by Azure Data Factory or Azure Synapse pipeline. So most of the concepts, whatever we have in the ADF and Azure Synapse, both are one and same, one and same. That is the reason we will be saying as once you know ADF, then you can take yourself granted as you know Azure Synapse also. If you know ADF, then you can take yourself granted as you know Azure Synapse also. Okay, 80 to 90 percentage of the syllabus is same in the ADF and Azure Synapse, it is same. Okay, now in data factory, Synapse pipelines in activity defines the action to be performed. Okay, in both the cases, there is a concept called as activity. Okay, activity defines the action to be performed. We come to know what is activity. Once you create this one, then we'll go to the author page. In the author page, there is a concept of pipeline. Once you go into the pipeline, then we'll see bunch of activities you're going to see it. These are the activities what you can see it, right? So about this activity, we are trying to talk about it here. Now, we have one more concept called as linked service. Linked service defines the target data store or compute service. What is the meaning of this is, you can see in the manage, we have something concept called as linked service. What is the purpose of linked service? We given one point over there. It is for the purpose of data store or compute. Of course, now you will feel like it's a bit hard to understand, but while you're doing this one, then you'll be more familiarized with each and everything. That's the reason I don't want to disturb with much theory. I want to go with the directly practicals. Let us go and try to see here. We have the integration runtime. Integration runtime is useful for the purpose of compute infrastructure. What is this? Compute infrastructure. How much RAM I have to use it? Okay, how much processor I have to use it? Those all things will be decided by this IR. It is going to be decided. Okay, and our bill also will be generated based on this IR. How much time we use this IR, the bill will be generated. Okay, now I can consider it's kind of one server for ADF. For ADF, we can consider IR is one kind of server. Using this only, our code, everything is running properly. Now, these IRs are, we have here three types of IRs are available. One is called as Azure. In fact, it is a default IR. Second is self-hosted. Third is Azure SSIS IR. What is the difference among this is, we are going to have the source and we are going to have the target, right? We are going to have the source and we are going to have the target. Okay, if the source and target, whatever we have it, any one of them, source or target, any one of them is available in the private network, then we have to use self-hosted. Suppose this is available in the private network, source or target, any one of these is or both are available in the private network, we have to go for self-hosted. Both are under the control of Azure. Both are under the control of the Azure cloud only. Then we have to go for Azure. For example, now I'll ask you a question. Situation is, we created last class one blob you created. Blob is under the control of Azure network or not? Blob is under the control of Azure network or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes. And also you created Azure SQL database, you created Azure SQL DB, you created. This also under the control of Azure or not? Yes. Suppose if you're using source as a blob, target as Azure SQL DB, then we can say the type of IR you're supposed to use is, this one, you have to use it. Okay. For example, you are trying to use your local mission. In your local mission, inside our local mission, we have one notepad. Inside our local mission, we have one notepad, or we have an Excel. Inside our local machine, we have an Excel. At that moment, from Excel to Azure SQL database, you want to build something. Then we have to go for self-hosted, because your local laptop means it is a private network. Either source or target or both available in the private network, then we have to go for self-hosted integration runtime. We have to go. Then third one we have here is that is called as Azure SSIS. If you are, there is a old technology is available, something that is called as if you go and try to type here MSBI. If you type here MSBI, in the MSBI there are three products are available: SSIS, SSRS, SSAS. These all three things together is MSBI. MSBA. Now, in that one of thing is available that is called as SSIS is available. SSIS is nothing but it's a ETL tool or integration tool. Suppose we have some code is already developed, it is available, and I don't want to redevelop that one. I want to use that code and I want to run in the ADF infrastructure. Then I can go ahead and I can use I can go ahead and I can use the integration runtime is called as Azure SSIS. Azure SSIS. Now, first question we understand here, when how many types of integration runtimes are available? How many types of integration runtimes are available?
Three types.
Three types are available. You need to understand what is your source, what is your target. We are doing the ETL means always we have the source is available and target is available. What is your source? What is your target? You need to understand. Okay, based on the source and target, you need to decide it. Suppose your source is blob and our target is Azure SQL database. Azure SQL database. Then we have to use IR. The IR is equal to, we have to use the IR. The IR is equal to what type of IR you have to use? Azure IR you have to use. Because this blob is under the control of the cloud only. This also under the control of the Azure cloud only. Now, suppose I have here local SQL server. Local SQL server. That means SQL server is installed inside my laptop directly. SQL server installed directly in my laptop. That one I want to move into Azure SQL database. I want to move it. So your source is in this case, it is a local. Your target is in this case in the cloud. Your source is what? Private network. Your source is what? Private network because it is in the laptop, right? Private network. Okay, it is a local laptop. Local laptop. Now, whereas the target whatever we have here, Azure SQL database is a Azure cloud. Is what? Azure cloud. So any one is available as a private network. Then we have to use here the type of IR we have to use is that is called as self hosted. We have to use it. If we are reversing this one also, we have to use similar way. Suppose we have here this one and we have here this one. Still we have to use what type of IR we have to use? Self-hosted. If you are using both as private networks only, some reason from the same database, one table to another table, you want to move for the backup purpose, maybe. You want to take the backup of the table from this in the same database. You are trying to copy one table data into another table. You are copying and making the backup. Then also you have to use here what type of thing you have to use it? Self-hosted. If you have something called as SSIS package is available, something called as SSIS package is available. In that case, SSIS package is available. In that case, we have to use something separately available that is called as what? Azure SSIS. So total three types of integration runtimes are available. You need to understand based on the source and target what type of integration runtime is the best fit for our pipeline. We need to understand. Of course, by seeing this table, it is very straightforward. All you have to think is both are under the control of Azure cloud or not. If it is under the control of Azure cloud, straight away it is a Azure IR. Anyone, either source or target, anyone is not in the control of Azure cloud, then you have to use what? Self-hosted. If you need to use old technology, MSBI, SSIS package, you have to run it. We are not going to configure source and target. We are not going to configure already available that we are trying to run it as is position. As is position, we are trying to run it. At that moment, we use here Azure SSIS. We don't know what is there inside this package. We don't know. Okay, we are not here to configure anything. We are not here to configure. Whatever is available, just we are trying to move on to the Azure infrastructure. We are moving and we are running it. At that moment, it is useful what? Azure SSIS. Am I clear this table? Is this table is clear? Okay. Now, that's what these three types of integration runtimes. Some questions I given, what is IR and types of IR? If source and target are in Azure, then which IR is needed? If source or target are both in private network, then which IR is needed? To run SSIS package, which IR is needed? I think these all questions you are very familiar with this one now, right? Let us go and try to see, do I have any IR at this point of time or not? Out of these three IRs, which one I said default? Which is the default IR I said? Azure IR, right? Azure IR is the default IR. That is the reason without your permission, it's already created for you. For example, if I go to the integration runtimes, so this integration runtime, whatever we are seeing here, is it created by you or already it is available? Already it is available. Now you can notice the type of IR is equal to here, it is a Azure IR. The type of IR is equal to Azure. As of now, based on this one, nothing is code is available. That's the reason it's saying as related is equal to 0. Now, if you want to see more information about this one, you can go and you can see here, this is the monitor. You can click on this monitor. Anyone is using this one or not. At this point of time, it's saying as status is running. The type is Azure and all. Okay, as of now, no activities are running on this one. That is the reason it is going to show you empty. If really any programs are using this IR, it is going to show you so and so program is using, so and so program is using, like that. At any point of time, if you are interested to know this integration runtime is running, what are the things, then you can go ahead and you can even export to the CSV also. Okay, at this point of time, we are very much clear. We have one integration runtime already available. The name of the integration runtime is Auto Resolve Integration Runtime. What is this? Auto Resolve Integration Runtime. This is the name of the integration runtime what we have. Auto Resolve Integration Runtime. So we have the by default we have the Azure IR is available by default. Azure IR is available by default. We did not create it. It's already there. And the name of this one is, what is the name? Auto Resolve Integration Runtime. Auto Resolve Integration Runtime. That is the name by default we got it. Okay, I think we are good enough about the integration runtimes. We are good enough. Next, I want to talk about the next chapter that is called as linked service. Linked service. Now we have a server to run our code. Now we have a server to run our code. Next is I need to go for a linked service. I have to go. So the linked service is something we are going to communicate with the corresponding database or corresponding running infrastructure. Let's try to observe it, right? So linked service are much like connection strings. The moment connection string I am saying means you need to understand what it means. For example, if you go to the Google and type here Oracle connection string. Just you are typing here Oracle connection string, you are typing. Then you are trying to get here connection string formats we are getting. In this connection string formats, you can observe in the connection string formats, you can observe we have here something called as, what is this? Host name, computer name where the Oracle database is available. Port number, what port number it is used. And we have here PDB, there is nothing but instance name. What is the name of the database? What is the name of the database? So this is Oracle PDB is the name of the database here. Another syntax is available, something aside. Whatever it is, doesn't matter. These all are different varieties of the syntaxes. In this one, what information we have, Max? Server name, port number, database name, even username and password also may be available in some other connection string. Suppose if you see this connection string, we have here service name also here, and some connection strings may have the usernames and passwords also. This is different. SQL Server related one. In SQL Server related one also we have here DB schema. Okay. Now something like that. So each database has its own style of syntax. But what I want to say is the moment I say connection string, what is a server, what is a port number, what is a username, what is a password, this kind of things will be there. These connection strings are not same number of parameters for each and every database. For example, if I go to the SAP system, in SAP system, if I ask the connection string, much more parameters will be available. Much more parameters will be available. That means to make connection with a particular database, each database has its own restrictions. Some database will ask, I want server name, I want port number. Some database ask server name, port number, and also we may have here some other extra information. Subnet is what, net is what, this kind of things also they may be asking about it. Are you getting my point? So whatever information is required, basically those all information we have to provide as a connection string. Are you getting my point? Now that connection string, whatever available, same thing we are saying as a linked service here. What is linked service? What is linked service? Connection string is nothing but linked service. Linked services defines the connection information to data store or computing system. Okay, first we'll go with the data store today. Compute is what I'll talk about later. Okay, there are two things are available. We can create the linked service for the storage purpose as well as for running the things purpose. Okay, storage means already stored, your blob is available, already stored it. In the blob, we have some CSV file is available. Okay, that is nothing but data storage, you can take it as. You created the Azure SQL database, there also you stored EMP, DEPT, salary, three tables you stored it. That also you can take as example for data store. Then coming to the compute, suppose you want to run this one, in our own infrastructure, of the big data. Then you can go and you can create the computer led also, you can create it. Let us try to create first connection linked service with my blob. Already you created the blob is available with you. We want to create the linked service with your blob. Click on the new. The moment you click on the new, you can notice in the top, we are trying to create a new linked service. There are two submenus are available. One submenu is data store. Second submenu is called as what? Compute. That means linked service are how many types? Linked services are how many types? Two types. One is data store, second is compute. Today we are trying to create here data store related only, we are trying to create it. I select the data store, and also you can see here all Azure, then database, then file, generic protocol, NoSQL, service and apps we have it. These all are more or less useful to store the data. For example, you are aware of this one, Azure Data Lake Storage Generation 2. We stored the data. Azure Blob Storage, we stored the data. Azure Cosmos DB, storing the data. These all are storing the data purpose. For example, if I go to the compute and observe here, then you can notice we have here Azure Databricks is available. Azure Databricks is available. Then we have here Azure Machine Learning is available. Then Azure Batch is available. These all are the different computing systems. Tomorrow, you're interested to go with the Azure Databricks integration. Then you may need to use this Azure Databricks, you have to use it. You want to run some Python code, you want to run it, then you need to go for Azure Batch account. Python is installed in separate VM. That VM you want to use and you want to run it, then you may need to go for Azure Batch account. So there is a different purpose are available here. Based on that purpose, we need to choose what you have to go for it. You want to work with the big data stack, you have to work with, then you need to go for Azure HD Insight, you need to go for it. I'll talk about this compute later. Time being, we have a blob is available. So go to here data store, select here Azure blob storage. Select here Azure blob storage. Because in the first class we created what? Azure blob you created. Now let me select this Azure blob storage. I selected Azure blob storage. It's asking the name. So provide here some name for your linked service. As it is a linked service, I would like to give the name as, okay, it's a linked service for what? For Azure blob, right? So we are trying to create here the linked service for Azure blob storage. For Azure blob storage, something like this I given. Now, next is available description. It is optional. Wherever you see the star mark, that only mandatory. Remaining all things are optional. Connect via integration runtime. So at this point of time, only one integration runtime is available. That is auto resolve integration runtime. We want to use this integration runtime only. We want to use it. That means linked service is depending on the integration runtime or not. Linked service is depending on the integration runtime or not. Linked service is depending on the integration time or not?
Yes.
Yes. Now, if I say, let's say I'm canceling this window, time being, I'm canceling this window just for your understanding of integration runtime is really you understand or not. I'm canceling this window. Let us say I'm trying to click on here new. Then I'm trying to select here data store. The data store is equal to SQL server I am selecting. SQL server I am selecting. Now, once you select the SQL server, click on the continue. Now, if you go and try to see here, we have here auto resolve integration runtime only it's selected. But you know what is this SQL server? SQL server is not coming from your Azure. It's your personal device installation. Let's say database I went here, not from the Azure, not from the Azure. I went to the databases. From this databases, I picked, let us say, this SQL server, I picked it. Is it SQL server is available under the Azure or it is available as a separate one?
Separate one.
Separate one. So in this cases, we are going to use not the auto resolve integration runtime like Azure integration runtime. We are not going to use it. We are going to use self-hosted. We will deal that one later. We are going to deal it. At this point of time, we are going with the Azure blob storage. Let us click on here, continue, and provide the name as this is the name we are trying to provide it. Now, authentication type. I want to access the blob, whatever available, I want to access it. You created in the beginning of the classes, you went to the resource group. In the resource group, we are seeing the storage account. Under the storage account, we have n number of containers are available. Under the n number of containers are available. Inside the containers, we have the folder is available. Inside the container, we have the folder is available. Under the folder, we have the blob is available. This is what my meaning of blob now. This is what my meaning of blob now. I have a blob. That blob is called as emp.csv is the blob. This emp.csv is available inside this folder, inside this C drive. Okay, this is nothing but our container. Inside this container, this container is available. This container is available under the storage account. It is available, right? The storage account internally we have the container C drive. C drive internally we have the input is the folder. Under that one we have the file is available. This one. This file is I am calling it as a blob. This file itself we are calling it as a what is this? Blob. For this blob, we want to make the connections and all. Now, at the level of this level, let's say I'm going back to the this level. Okay, now this is a storage account. Whatever we are seeing now, this is called as what? Storage account. Inside the storage account, Today I have some files in the C drive, some files in the D drive, some files in the NBU, some files in the OBU maybe. At this level, we are trying to create a linked service. We are trying to create a linked service at what level? Linked service we are creating at what level? Storage account level. Storage account level we are trying to create it. So linked service we are going to create at what level? Storage account level. That is the reason if you go here now, if you select here in the drop down authentication type is equal to, we have the account key is available, let it be account key. Then we have the connection string. Azure subscription is equal to Azure for students. Under this Azure for students, storage accounts, what we have here? Storage accounts. Storage accounts, if you go to the drop down, we are seeing only one storage account is available. The storage account is appearing. Then go and try to click on here, test the connection. This will be tested. Now you maintain the linked service at what level you maintained. You can observe here your storage account name. Okay. So this linked service is at what level it is?
Storage level.
Storage account level. If I have, let us say, some reason 3 or 4 storage accounts are available, 3 or 4 different storage accounts are available, then I required how many linked service I required? If I let us say, let us go and try to click on here create. Now one linked service you created. Some reason you have one more storage account you created. You created one more storage account you created. Let us say storage accounts, and you created one more storage account you created. You went here, click on the create, then you given some name you given, let's say B2401. Okay. Second storage account, something like this you created. Then click on here LRS, then provide here review and create. Then it is going to create one storage account. It is going to create for you. Now, how many storage accounts I have?
Two.
Now I have how many storage accounts? 2 storage accounts I have it. If I want to access something which is part of the second storage account, then I require to create one more linked service, or existing linked service is enough. Question is clear or not clear?
We'll have to create
One
one
more.
more.
Yeah, we have to create here one more linked service. You have to create it. How many storage accounts we have it? That many linked services you have to create it, because this linked service, whatever you created, that is exactly access the one storage account only backend. At any point of time, you can go back and you can observe here. At any point of time, you can go back and you can observe it. This linked service is pointing to this storage account. Okay, right. Wow, great. Now my linked service is able to communicate with the blob. That's okay. We also created the Azure SQL database, right? Azure SQL database. I want to communicate with the Azure SQL database means I required one more linked service, right? Then go ahead and try to create here one more linked service for Azure SQL database. I need to type here under the Azure, you may have Azure SQL database. Just scroll down, you'll see Azure SQL database. Select this Azure SQL database, click on create. Then give some name as ls, okay, for Azure SQL database. If you want to write your database name also, go ahead and write database name also. Okay, now my database name is B2401DB, I think. Okay, whatever it is, you created last class, you created one database name. What is the name of the database? This is the one, B240123DB you created. Same name, if you want to provide here, you can go ahead and you can provide. It's the name only, logical name only, whatever you want, you can provide it. Ultimate goal is some other developer, by seeing the title itself, you need to understand what is this linked service, For what? For which database you need to understand. Now, connection is Azure integration runtime. Yes, it is a based on the Azure cloud only. So this is will be sufficient. Now we need to go for a subscription. Then select here student subscription. Then see here, previously it's asked only storage account. Storage account is enough. Storage account name is enough in case of blob. But in case of Azure SQL database, it require what? What is server name? Server name is, this is the server name of that one. And what is the database name? This is the database name of that one. And what is the authentication type? SQL authentication I selected. Then what is the username? Username is SEA admin. Password is, I think we given, yeah, I given the password also whatever required. Then go ahead and here test the connection. If everything you passed here correctly, this testing connection will be successful. If everything you provide here properly, then testing connection will be successful. It is running this much time. Okay, this one I given wrongly, looks like. Okay, let it run. It may fail. I given password bit wrong. Let us see. Yeah, it's failed. So let me give the password. Test the connection. Again failed. Why it is failed? Cannot connect to SQL database. Please contact SQL Server team for further support. Server database. Check the link to service configuration is correct and make sure that the firewall allows the integration runtime access. Cannot open. Server requested the login. Client with IP address is not allowed to access the server. Client with this IP is not allowed to access, enable user management server, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Looks like this is not ready. The server is not ready. Let me try one more time, test the connection. No. Let's go and try to debug why it is happened. First, let's see my server, I'm able to connect or not. I'm going to the database. This is our database. Then go to the query editor. Then this is the password. Okay. Then allow this. Then okay. Login failed. Oh my God. Okay. I think the password. Okay. It is now, it is up. It is up and running. Let us go here. Let me update this password also. Then test the connection. This time it should be. What is saying? Check the link to service configuration is correct and make sure the SQL database firewall allows. Okay, it should be allowing, right? It's already connected.
The connection with the database, if we create new database, maybe it works.
Sorry.
The problem with the database, we can create new database and try, or the is credential issue.
Let me see once the network. Let me see the network. Networking. Then selected networks is correct. This IP address is added. Okay. This option is not selected. This option you must select. Allow Azure services and resources to access this server. Okay, you must select this option. Then other components of things cannot be able to access if you're not selecting it. Save it. Okay, I given the password and everything correct only I given. This option is not selected. Due to that, it is making the trouble to us. Okay, now go and try to test the connection. Yeah, now it is successful. Okay, This is ADF is a other service. ADF is a other service. That is the reason we need to select that option. Then go and try to click on here, create. Wow, beautiful. You created now two connections. One connection is for Azure Blob. Other connection is for Azure SQL databases. Okay, now two types of linked services you created. How many linked services you created? Two types of linked service you created. Wow, great job. Now we have the one integration runtime. It's already available by default. We created two linked services we created. Now I want to speak with still are you able to speak with the tables whatever available here? Here, for example, in Azure SQL database, we have the tables are available. Are you able to speak with these tables? If you go to the database, inside the database, just now you noticed we have the tables are available. Three tables are available. 3 or 4 tables are available. 5 tables are available. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Are you able to speak with these tables? Any of these tables? No. As of now, you made the connection up to database level only. You made it. Database to table, we did not made it. Okay. Now, if you want to access any one particular table, then we need to go to the author tab and you have to configure data set. You have to configure. Okay, at this point of time in manage, we are done. In manage, only two things are going to learn about it. One is about integration runtime. Second is about linked service. Down the line, we'll come back here and we'll try to understand what you mean by Git configuration. What is ARM template? We are going to understand about it. We'll also know about what you mean by triggers, and also we'll know what you mean by global parameters. We'll be knowing about it, and also we see general details about the factory settings and all. We'll see it. Almost all the options will touch it. Okay, this purview is something we are not going to touch it, but it's okay. That is not required at this point of time. Now, if you go to the author, in the author, let me open the author. Whatever already available, I am closing here. Your author page will be something like this looks like. Here, you can observe all the statistics we are seeing as, what is this? 0. In this one, we are seeing one of the things that is called as what? Data sets. At this point of time, 0 objects are available. We did not create anything. That's what it is 0. I want to make it one data set. I want to create it. So go and try to click on these 3 dots. Then say as a new data set. This new data set I want to create inside the new folder, for example. So click on the new folder first. My goal is to access the storage account related all the things here. Okay, storage account related all files, something like this. I give the name storage account related all files. Now under this one, I want to create here one data set, for example. I can go and I can create here new data set. This new data set is type of what? Blob. It's coming from the blob. Select the Azure blob storage, click on continue. Now it's asking what type of blob is yours. My blob is comma separated one. It is a delimited text file. In our case, it is Parquet means you can select the Parquet, arc means arc, arrow means arrow. These three files are very famous. In the big data environment. Okay, you can also play around Excel if you have the Excel is available in our case. Okay, in my case, I'm going with the delimited test is available. You can go with the delimited test. Select the delimited test, click on continue. Now it's asking, tell me what is your dataset name. My dataset name is, I have over there EMP is available. So I'm going with the EMP. Now select the linked service is asking, automatically we got here this linked service. Why not other one? We have two linked services, right? Why in the drop down this linked service only we received?
Because we selected blobs file.
Yeah, because in the previous screen we selected the blob. That is the reason blob relevant linked service only it is showing here. Now once you select this one, that's it. Your storage account will be connected through this linked service, because this linked service internally knows what which storage account to connect. It knows, because if you click on this edit button, for example, the storage account is pointing to which storage account? B2401 SA storage account it is pointing. That means already my linked service is connected to what? Storage account. If I go to the file path, there is nothing but container name, folder name, file name. If you are very familiar with those names, if you want to type here, you can type it. If you don't want to type it, there is a browse button. Click on this browse button. Directly it will take you to the containers level. These are the containers what we have, right? Yes. In these containers, inside the C drive, inside the input folder, we have our file. That file is called as emp.csv file. That we are able to access it. Click on OK. Now we can notice under the container, we are seeing the C drive container. Under the folder, we are seeing the input folder. Under the file name, we are seeing the emp.csv. Inside the emp.csv file, if you have the first row has a column names, then select this option. Once you selected these all options, go ahead and try to click on here OK. That's it. You created a data set, you created one object is available. If you want to make sure the screen is properly available for you, close this window. Close means nothing but collapse. This also at this point of time, you don't want it, let us say, you can minimize it like this if you want. And right side, you can see something called as properties. What object we selected here? EMP dataset object. That properties is showing what is the name of this one, what is the description, like that. At any point of time, if you want to change your dataset name, you can go ahead and you can change from here. I want to use this EMP as a source. You want to use it. What type of source is a blob? That's what I want to rename it. I can go ahead and I can rename it. The moment I am changing the name here, automatically it is changing here, right? SRC blob EMP. It's changing here. SRC blob EMP. So it's a properties window. If you think like this properties window also disturbance for me, I want to close this one. To close this one, there is a one icon is available here. Notice here properties. You can click on this one. That will be closed. Again, at any point of time, if you want it, again click on it. It will come. You can collapse and you can expand using this button. You can collapse and you can expand. Right now, is it really working or not? It's working or not, you can confirm. There is an option called as, what is this? Preview the data. If you click on the preview data, if you're able to see the data, then it is working. This preview will be providing first 10 rows only, it is going to provide it. It's providing first 10 rows only, it is providing it. By observing this data and all, are you able to communicate with your blob file or not? By observing this data, are you able to communicate with your blob file?
Yes.
Yes. That's how we can confirm, yes, we are able to communicate it. Now, we completed this data set. Now, other data set I want to create is Azure SQL database also I want to create it, for example. Okay, that one we'll try to see tomorrow. And tomorrow, I don't want to repeat this means first you need to publish this work. If you're not publishing, just you close this window like this, then your work you are going to lose it. Then your work you are going to lose it. That is the reason before you leave your system, you need to make sure you are publishing your work. The moment you click on the publish, it is going to, you are about to publish all pending changes to the live environment. Okay, what we are publishing? Only one object. That object is dataset object. Click on publish. The moment you click on publish, it's publishing here. Now we see the statistics here. Earlier we see only all are zeros, we are seeing it. Earlier we were seeing here all are zeros. Now we are seeing here dataset against one we are seeing, right? Datasets, how many datasets are available now?
One.
One dataset is available. One dataset is published it. Wow, today you learned about 3 points, you learned about it. One is called as integration runtime, IR. Second is called as linked service, linked service. Third is called as data set, data set. Please try to walk through these 3 chapters from my notes. Okay, and wherever I given the help documents, please walk through those help documents also and try to complete it. Tomorrow we'll try to design first pipeline. Thank you.
Excuse me, sir. Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, sir. I mean, actually, in the Hexadata, I mean,